Hey there, everyone. Let's see if we can have a deeper experience today with a deeper question. It's one of those questions, though, that most people don't want to think about, but one that we need to if we're truly going to be committed to raising our own consciousness. So let's do this, okay? Here's the question. Do you punish people? Now, my guess is that most people hearing that kind of question are automatically going to say, "No way, Jose." Which, of course, begs the obvious question of who exactly is this guy, Jose? Either way, it's natural for a person to throw their hands up at the idea that they could be someone who could punish another individual intentionally. But hear me out for a second so that we can unpack this a little. As a starting point, look, we have to admit that we human beings have the capability of intentionally causing other people pain. I mean, it's not a fun thing to admit, but then again, neither is me admitting that I like a lot of Justin Bieber's songs, which I did not just admit just now. I was only offering that as an example. But yes, we do have the ability to intentionally cause other people pain. For example, you might be familiar with a study that was done in the 1960s called the Milgram Experiment, okay? Where people were instructed to give subjects an electric shock each time they answered a question incorrectly. And the more questions the person got wrong, the bigger the electric shock, to the point where the person receiving the shock was eventually screaming in agony. Now, look, the good news is that the subjects were actually actors who weren't being shocked at all, but the person being tested didn't know this. Instead, they trusted the person in the room wearing the official white lab coat who looked like a doctor and was telling them to administer the shocks. They just kept on going. Crazy, right? So, what's the point of the story? Well, besides the fact that actors in the 1960s had really bad employment options, it only goes to show you how capable we human beings are in being able to inflict punishment upon another person. And I get that this, of course, is an extreme example, and some may even say it's shocking, but I think it's important to consider some of our ugly bits as humans and what we're capable of doing. You see, I see this with my children all of the time. And I'm not saying that my children are ugly. In fact, I think that they are quite attractive, but they can act in kind of ugly ways sometimes. For example, let's say child A does something to hurt the feelings of child B, which, yes, are the names that we gave our children. It was almost one or two for a while there. Anyway, so when child A hurts the feelings of child B, we pull child A aside and we explain the importance of apologizing for their actions, which they end up doing. But instead of accepting the apology, child B will say something along the lines of, "Thanks, but you still can't play with my toys." And it's frustrating. It's frustrating when this happens because we don't want our children to grow up to become dicks who abuse their power over another person who has wronged them. But isn't that something we're all capable of doing? Personally, I don't like admitting it, but I do know that I am capable of doing just that. And aren't we all, though? Can we all admit this? I mean, someone hurts us and our mind automatically starts thinking of all the ways to make them pay for what they made us feel. We start thinking things like, "I'm going to bring back the guillotine." Yeah, because I want them to feel what I felt. But where does it get us? Nowhere. All it does is keep us in a state of negativity. And that negativity courses through our veins and causes us stress and high blood pressure and anxiety and depression and disease and bad sleep and so on and so on. Look, when someone hurts you, yes, of course, tell them that they hurt you. Explain how what they did hurt you and what you need from them for the hurt to go away. There's nothing wrong with that. But from there, you gotta try your best to let it go. I know it's not easy, and it's something I still struggle with today myself. I just think that the best thing that we can do in those moments is to ask deeper questions of ourselves, like, will punishing this person really make things better for me? Will it really lead me closer to the life that I want? And I think that just asking that kind of deeper question, it will lead you to all the answers you need. You know this and I know this. When we punish others, we're just punishing ourselves. and you deserve better than that.